Good afternoon, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle called Cascade by DJV. I've done a couple of DJV puzzles before recently, I think, and I've enjoyed them. I may have done more than a few with the Hamilton Sudoku series, which are all by anonymous setters, and I really don't know who is who in that one, and I kind of like it. Um, yeah. I keep being asked sort of what are my plans and what else is going on, and I feel I should do more about talking about what's going on in the channel. And I seem to either have rants or I have nothing to say. What I do want to say is I'm always looking for submissions and recommendations. So if you do have a puzzle that you've created that you want me to have a look at, then I would absolutely love that. My link to my submission guidelines is below. Now, I probably should look at updating those, but what I am normally looking for in a submission is a puzzle. I'm not only looking for coffee and lunch break puzzles. I know that's mostly what I've been doing recently. Some of my time is starting to free up and I'm starting to have a bit more time to look at puzzles. But I do like puzzles that most people, and these are the things that most people seem to like, is that people can sit down and do in sort of half an hour, 45 minutes, and you don't need to be a solver who's been sort of solving puzzles for 3 or 4 years to be able to knock them out in that sort of time. Um, I am always looking for people to send through a puzzle with both an F puzzles link by preference, or a link, because I will often reset the puzzle, but I will maintain the name and the set of links so any previous solves are kept, and I will try and treat the puzzle with respect. But I always try and present it so that it'll look good on camera as well as be a good solving link. I occasionally get puzzles where people have used what are often considered default colors, but some of those in some tools can be incredibly garish and hard to solve on. One of the examples is Renban lines, where some of the default colors in some tools are very, very deep purple, and you can't actually, for a lot of people, they can't read the pencil marks on them. So I try and bring those out, make them fade and lower the opacity so that they can be more easily solved on, but still maintain the aesthetic of the puzzle. And I try and do that as well. Also make the rules consistent. I always try and make rules consistent. Bad example today where I've been given a custom link and the rules are fine, so I've just kept them through. And it's a killer cages. Nothing much wrong, you can go there. So often I will try and sort of clean the grid up to be something a little bit cool. But I do get a lot of puzzles submitted where there are things like spelling mistakes in even like the name of the puzzle. And I don't just mean missing U's in color or anything like that, or rules that are missing entire rule sections and stuff like that, and I have to clean them up. So it's always good to get the testers not just to solve the puzzle, but to check your rules, which is why I highly recommend when you submit your puzzle for testing, actually have the final grid. Don't just go, normal rules and then send it through, because if that's the way you want it to be seen, you're kind of locking out a lot of people. Here's my rant again. You're locking out people who've never seen those rules before from ever doing it. And if you add them after testing, your testers never get to turn around and say, wait a minute, you're missing this rule. So, it's always good to have the final version of your puzzle, what you submit to testing, with absolutely everything. And then people can provide testing feedback on everything. And that's a really cool thing to try and do. I'm ranting again, but and then when you send it through, it's always good to send it through with a not necessarily a full solution guide, depending on the difficulty of the puzzle, but at least a few hints of what you think are sticking points in the puzzle, because then if I get stuck, I will pause the video partway through and go and check that so I can keep presenting the puzzle. Or my testers can then turn around and use that if they think, hang on, if I get told this is a hard puzzle, I will generally send it through to testers first. It depends on what I see in the email that I will do that. I will generally not read the solution guide first, stuff like that. So it gives me a lot of flexibility with the way I can present a puzzle the best way possible. This one, however, is by DJV, who I've done a few puzzles of before, and it just came in, and this one's ready to roll. So I'm going to give this a shot. But yeah, if you want to talk to me about submitting puzzles or anything, I will communicate puzzles as submitted. Not everything that comes through will I do. There are a couple that I won't. Sometimes I will talk to other solvers about whether they want to try and do it for the channel, and things like that. So there's all sorts of options that are available when a puzzle is submitted to me. Recommendations: if a puzzle is by a setter that you've seen on the channel before, often I have open permission from those setters to do their puzzles, so I can often just do it. But if it is from a setter that you've not seen on the channel before, or if you don't think I've got permission, then it's a good idea to reach out to the setter and ask if they would like to submit, or send it through to me with saying I don't have permission yet. I can then try and reach out to the setter, or even better, if you can reach out to the setter and say, listen, would you mind if I recommended this to BremSter, and include a screenshot of the conversation you had with the setter, so that I know there's permission, or the contact details for the setter so I can confirm. All of that sort of stuff will make my life so much easier. The harder it is for me to get a puzzle on the channel, the less likely it is for me to do, because I'm doing this once a day. So if it's going to take me a couple of hours to try and chase all of those details and get everything lined up, that's just, the puzzle's probably not going to get seen. So yeah, that's just the way it is. Anyway, Cascade by DJV. This one was literally minutes from submission to screen. So let's have a look at see how this one works actually. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Cells and knights move apart in chess may not contain the same digit. Okay, what does that mean? So let's pick on that cell there because I'm feeling a little bit different. Normally this cell, you could turn around and you could highlight all of these cells and say that those cannot contain the same digit because they're seen in the same row, column, or box. However, we can add to that a knight's move in chess is basically 2 in one direction and 1 in another. And any cell that is 2 in one direction and 1 in another away from that cell also cannot contain the same digit. So in this case, those cells there also could not be blue because they are seen by the knight's move restriction. So in this case, nothing yellow or green could be away. These are also knight's moves away, but they're also, actually that one as well. These are also a knight's move away, but they're also in the yellow, so it doesn't matter. But that's the way knight's move works. So basically anywhere you can draw that shape on the grid in any orientation, you cannot repeat the same digit. That's how that rule works. Then digits in cages sum to the number in the top left corner. So these two digits will sum to 6, these two digits will sum to 5, these two digits will sum to 11. That's all we've got for this one. So I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. 3 cage is fairly obvious. The two smallest Sudoku digits without repeating is 1 and 2. 1 and 2 sums to 3. I'm kind of stuck on that one. Big cages, 16. Okay, 16. The way I often work my way through these is if I do a 9, the biggest digit, a 9 would go to a 7. If I did an 8, and then I work down what if I didn't use the 9. An 8 would have to go with an 8, which is repeating a digit. It doesn't work. So this has to be 7, 9. 5, you've got 2 options. You've got 1, 4 or 2, 3. So that's not ideal. This 8 cage, however, is forced. Okay, so because of this 1, 2, this actually has to be 3, 5. And why is that? This 1, say this was a 1, okay? I don't know whether it's a 1 or a 2, but say it's a 1. Just whether it's a 1 or a 2, it doesn't matter. Well, it does. It's going to matter for the final solution. But whether it's a 1 or a 2, it is going to be one of those 2 digits. If this was the 1, I couldn't put a 1 there because it's in the same column, and I couldn't put a 1 there because it's a knight's move away. If this was the 1, I couldn't put it there because it's in the same column, and I couldn't put it there because it's a knight move away. Both of these cells see both of those cells. So because this is a 1-2 pair, I cannot put 1 or 2 in either of these cells because both of those cells see both of those. It's the same with that cell. So whichever one of these is 1, can't put 1 there, and whichever one of these is 2, I can't put 2 there. So this can't be 1, 7 or 2, or 2, 6. The next option up is 3, 5, and the next option up, counting up using 1, 2, 3, the next option up is 4, 4, and that would repeat 4. So this is 3, 5. So now I can't use 3 or 5 in this 12 cage. It can't be 1 and 11. It can't be 2 and 10. It can't be 3 and 9. It could be 4 and 8. It can't be 5 and 7, and it can't be 6 and 6. So this is a 4 and an 8. This is kind of cool, but I'm not sure what I'm doing with it yet. Is it this 11 cage? Because it can't be 9-2, because that would require me to repeat a 2, which I can't do. It could be 8-3. It could be 7-4. It could be 6-5. This 14 cage? Well, this 14 cage, I can't use a 9, because then if I put a 9 there, I couldn't put a 9 there. If I put a 9 there, I couldn't put a 9 there. So it could be 8-6, but the next option is 7-7, and that doesn't work. So this is 8-6, and we know from the 8-4 that that is the 6 and that is the 8. So does that limit this? Well, it means I can't put a 6 in a 12 cage, but I never could anyway. So, yeehaw. Now, this 13 cage can't have an 8 in it. So it could be 9-5. It can't be 8. No, wait a minute. 9-5 is wrong. It could be... No, it can't be 9-4. See, math. In order to do Sudoku puzzles, it is highly recommended that you are good at basic arithmetic. Why do I have a Sudoku channel? Okay, it can't be 9-4 because both of the 4s here see both of those cells. It can't be 8-5 because it can't be that. It could be 7-6, and then when I go down again, I end up with 6-7, and then I'm working up to the same thing. So this is 6-7, which I'm assuming is going to put pressure on this 11 cage. 11, 9-2 is possible. 8-3 is possible. So it is 9-2 or 8-3, because the next option, I can't use a 7, I can't use a 6, and then when I go down to 5, I'm using the 6 again, and then, yeah, so these are the only possibilities. Okay. And this... So this 6 cage, maybe? Because it's 1-5... Ah, right. It's 1-5 or 2-4. But if this was 2-4, I couldn't put 2 or 4 in this cage, because the 2 and the 4 would see both of those, and that would leave 1 and 3 here, and 1 and 3 does not sum to 5. So this is not 2-4, this is 1-5, takes 1 out of there, which takes the 4 out of there. This is 2-3. Now, this 11 cage now cannot be 9-2 or 8-3. So it's 7-4 or 5-6. But I can't use a 1 in this 7 cage anymore. So it's not 1-6 and it's not 5-2. So this is 3-4, which takes the 3-8 out of there. This is 2-9, which means this is the 3 and this is the 2, which means this is the 4 and this is the 3. That means there's no 4 in here, so there's no 7, and this is 5-6, and I've got the makeup of almost all of the cages. This 12 cage, I think, is resolvable now, because it can't be 9-3, it can't be 8-4, which are for several reasons. 7-5 is the only possibility. So now I have the makeup of all of the cages. So now I'm just down to a knight's move puzzle. Right. So I'm assuming it's going to be... So the whole point of these cages was to get me to this. Right, the 5-6 makes this a 1 and this a 5. The 3-5 makes this a 7 and this a 5. This 7 makes this 9 and this 7. This 7 looks up making this 6 and this 7. 7 is now in one of those two. Okay. This sees 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 3, 4, or 9. I was hoping that would be more restricted. There'll be some... So this is a pair. It sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7, 8 pair. And this is a pair. This is a 1, 2 pair. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But those aren't as helpful as I might want. I'm assuming... Now I can see that 5 is in one of those, because 5 can't go down here and 5 can't go up here. 3 is not there or there. So 3 is in one of those, but that's not a restriction on that. Interestingly enough, 2 is in one of those two. Because where is 2 in this column? 2 can't go there. 2 can't go there because that's a 1, 2 pair. 3 up here. Ooh, wait, that's powerful. 3 in this box is in one of those, but that 3 sees that one, and that 3 sees that one. So that is a 3. So this is a quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, and 9. And this 2 sees all of those. So that's not, whoops, that's not the 2. That's the 2. This is a 4, 6, 9 triple. That's not a 6 at the top. So 6 is in one of those two, which means 6 is now in one of those two. So this 2 makes this 1 and this 2. This is very, very weird. I like it. 3 is in here. 7 is the same. 7 is down here. This 7 sees that one, so that's not 7. And this 7 sees that one. That's not 7. So that's the 7. This is now a quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That 9 is not it, but that 5 sees all of those three. So that's not the 5. This is the 5. And this is now a 3, 4, 9 triple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 2, 7 pair. I won't say out of nowhere, but it feels a bit like it. It's very cool, though. Now, this 3, 4, 9 doesn't feel huge. At least not yet. Sure, there's a knight's move trick I am missing. Because I have to be. Where is 1 in this column? I could... So I can see this one. One can't be there because of the 1-2 pair. One can't be in any of those, and those aren't one. So this is a one. But there's other ways that you can often do night move puzzles, which is by just shading every single cell that can be a possibility and then looking for conflicts. But I'm not there yet. So that puts one in one of those two. So one is not there. So one is in one of those, but not there. Because that would see that one. Yeah, it's not quite it. One is not in those or those. So one is in one of those two, which is interesting. That's very interesting. That's a one. And the reason for that is, where is one in this box? Well, initially it looks like it can go in all of those. Okay, no problem. This one too knocks it out of there. So turn yellow off. If this was a 1, remember this one takes out those and that one takes out those. If this is a 1, it sees that in the row and that by knight's move. And that can't be a 1 because of the 1-2. So neither of those could be a 1. So that can't be a 1. If this was a 1, that would knock that out in the row and that out by knight's move. So this can't be a 1. And now I can ask, where is 1 in this column? It can't be here because of that 1. That's a 3-4, that's a 7-5, and it's not in that box. That's a 1. That's a sneeze, for which I apologise. These two ones, for the same reason that I was getting eliminations in these cages, these two ones knock one out of those two. So those are not one. One is here. That is not the one. This is the one. Not the one. One is in one of those two. And one is in one of those two. And I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more tricks like that, because these are now quadruples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 6, 8, 9. Well, that's not a 2 or a 9, because there's a 2, 9 in the box. So there's a 2 and a 9 in there. There's no 2 there. There's no 6 in this box at all. So whereas 6 in this column. 6 is at the top, not there. And this is a 2, 8, 9. Which means that cannot be a 9. Because if that's a 9, it sees that in the row and both of those by knight's move. So that is not a 9. What's to bet I get the same here? So let's look at this quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Well, 5 is not here, so 5 is in one of those. I already had that. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Have I missed something? I know 8 is down here somewhere. That's not an 8. So 8 is in here. So 5 and 8 are both in here. That 8 saw that one. Can I eliminate 4 or 6 from there? Not obviously. 6 in this cage is in one of those two. Sorry, this box. Okay. I thought that was going to be it, but that's not it. That's not a 6. So these are from 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. So 3 is in one of those. So 3 is in one of those two. because it can't be there because of that 3. So in here, I need to put 2, 3, 6, and 9. 6 is here. No. Up here, it's 4, 7, 8, and 9. And up here, it's 1, 5, 7, and 8. Well, 5 is in one of those two. This is only 5 or 8. This is only 1 or 8. And these are 1, 3, 5. No, 1, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 3, 4, 5 go in there. That 4 knocks 4 out of there. 1 is not in either of those. That 5 takes 5 out of there. No, I'm very lost. I am very lost. Sorry, that's the horrible dead air. There's a lot of options in this box. I feel this column, I've missed something absolutely vital. And I am really not seeing it. Oh, that's not a 3. So 3 is in one of those two, which has done very little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 6, 4, 8, and 9 go in there. No, what? Right. Where is 6 in this box? So we can see 6 is not in those, so we can highlight those cells flat out. This 6 sees all of those, so those are not 6. And that 6 sees that cell, so that is not a 6. 6 is in one of those two, which looks up saying that's not a 6. That's now a 4-9 pair, and that's a 6. Now that takes 6 out of both of those. Because if 6 is there, I can't put 6 in either of those. And if that's a 6, I can't put 6 in either of those. Neither of those can be a 6. This is a 4, 5, 8 triple, which means that's the 6. The 4, 5, 8 triple, however, if that's a 4, I can't put a 4 in any of them. And I finally put a 3 in the middle of the grid. That's 3 in the middle. There's no song for that. So that 3 looks into there, making that a 5 and that a 3. The 5 looks up, making that 6 and that 5. 6 is now in one of those two. That 5 means that's not a 5. That 5 means that's not a 5. That's the 5. Now in this box, 5 is in one of those. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, but now it is, because there's no 5 here and there's no 5 in those. So 5 is in one of those two. So now where is 5 in this box? It's not there, it's not there, it's not there because of that 5, and there's a 3 in the middle. That is a 5. Because this is a 489 triple. 9 is in one of those two. Have to put 3 in one of those two for that box. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 goes in here somewhere. Not sure. 8 I've got, so then a 9. Ooh, this is still tricky. So these are 4, 6, 8, and 9. Oh, that 7 makes that the 8 and that the 7. So there's no 8 in any of those. There's no 6 here because the 6 has to be over here. These are 4, 8, and 9. The 8 must be in here. Four, 8, 9. I'm still missing something absolutely vital. I thought I was better at 9-move puzzles than this, but apparently not. So these are all down to quadruples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, and 8. There's no 1 down here. There's no 8 in there. There's no 1 there because of that 1. So this is the 1, which makes that the 2 and that the 1, which means this is not the 2. 2 is in here, which, yeah. Wow. This one I think feels more restricted than the one at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 6, 9. Well, there's no 3 in there. This 6, of course. Take 6 out of those, and that's not the 6 either. So this is the 6. These are 2, 3, and 9. That's a 2, 9, giving me a 2, 9 pair in the column. So that is the 3. This is a 2, 9. Those 2 9s. That 2 makes that the 9, which makes that the 2. The 9 looks up, making that the 2 and that the 9. That 2 doesn't see anything. That 9 makes that not 9. That 9 makes that 4, which makes that 9, which makes that 2, which means that's not 2. This is a 4, 8 pair. Sorry, I was getting flickering on my other screen and I wasn't sure what it is. It is nothing I need to worry about. It's one less thing to worry about. okay, so now I'm curious about this one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 5, 7, and 8. Well, there's no 5 in there. There's no 1 in there. There's no 7 in there. 1, 5, 7, 8. I don't have an 8 looking at it. 1, 5, 7. So I'm going to get rid of the corner marks because I think they're just distracting me at this point. They're accurate, but not helping me. Oh, wait a minute. This 9 looks like making that 4 and that 9, which takes 9 out of both of those. So 9 is in one of those two. So this is an 8-9 pair. And this is a 4-6 pair. And that 6 is making that the 4 and that the 6. That takes 4 out of there. This is a 3-5 pair, which means there's no 3 in there. And this is a 1-4 pair. So where is the 3 in this row now? I can't put the 3, it has to be in one of those cells, and it's not there because it's a 5 and it's not there by, so that's the 3. It's not there by Sudoku. So that is now a 3. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. There's no 6 there. The 9 takes 9 out of there. So 9 is in one of those two, which takes the 9 out of there. That's now a 2-8 pair, making that the 9, that the 8, that the 9. The 8 looks across, making that the 4 and that the 8. This is fun, by the way. I'm having a ball with this. Finding it tricky, but it's fun tricky. This is 2... Wait. That 8 makes that 2, which makes that 8. The 2 makes this 7, which makes this 2. That makes this 9, which makes this 6, which makes this 7. Something's going to break this open, and I don't know what it is. It's going to be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 7, 8, 9. There's no 7 in those. There's no 9 in those. That's a 4-8 pair. So that becomes a 9, and I can take 9 out of there. 4, 7, and 8. These 8s take 8 out of there. That 4 takes 4 out of there. 7 in one of those two. That 3 sees that cell. That's a 5, that's a 3. The 5 looks up taking 5 out of there. That's 1, 7, 8, so that's 5. Almost. That 7 takes 7 out of there. This is a 1-8 pair. That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 4. That's a 7. The 4 looks down, making this 8 and 4. Something is going to touch this. That 4 reaches in, making that the 8 and that the 4. It's possibly been there for ages, which makes this the 1 and this the 4. The 1 looks up, making this the 8 and this the 1. And that's the correct solution to Cascade by DJV. That was a tricky Knight's Move puzzle. The opening with the killer cages was really sweet and elegant and required you to use a little bit of killer tricks and knowledge with the anti-knight to kick it in. And then it was just a tricky anti-knight. And once again, I am sure that there'll be a lot of people saying, this was a fun coffee break puzzle in 15 minutes. It took me 30. First of all, try it on camera sometime. It's harder. Second of all, I'm not the fastest solver in the world. Otherwise, first of all, I don't want to be. But otherwise, I would enter competitions, and I will never enter competitions. I don't like the stress of doing stuff under a time pressure. I much prefer to sit back, take my time, and enjoy it. And yeah, I'll never be the fastest solver in the world, but I had a blast with that puzzle. That was great fun. Thank you, DJV. That was stunningly good. That puzzle actually kind of made my day. Not the best thing that's happened to me today, but that was a lot of fun. Thank you very much. I hope everyone else had as much fun as I did, and as always, good luck with your solving.